So that's the whole point of today. Okay? Hopefully you can pick up a point or two. Does anyone have dreams?
Yeah.
Let's share. Let's go around the room. Anyone want to raise? Want to go first? What's your dream? Anyone? Please.
I want a beach house.
Beach house. I like that.
That's doable.
I'm gonna buy a house in Newport Coast.
All right. Beach house. Okay.
Let's go make it two.
Two more. Two more.
I want to be a globetrotter like Spencer.
Oh, yeah.
One more. Anyone? One more? Oh, you already answered, so sorry. One more? Retiring Hawaii. Okay, everyone seems to go around the beach, right? So
build a portfolio of real estate around the world.
all right. Okay. So one of the problem is as we grow up, we don't dream anymore. Our dreams die. Notice this kid. Notice the plane. She wants to be a pilot. Kids don't have any limitation. We do. We put limitation to ourselves. You have to dream big. You have to dream daily, every day. When I wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock, the first 30 minutes is what I'm going to do with my day and what my dreams are that day. What can I do to achieve my dream? What do you do to achieve your dream? Right? You have to dream big. Okay? Very big. Now, having said that, there are limitations. We're over 55, right, Tom?
Not yet, man.
Oh, sorry.
Come on now. Almost.
Almost. My apology. So I cannot be an astronaut. I have to recognize that. But what can I do? Maybe beach house? Possible. Maybe retiring soon, right? Would you said that? So you have to put your dreams. My dream now is to have time freedom. The number one goal that I have today. Let me share with you. In the past 2 days, I've been busy spending time with a lot of you. My business did not stop. My closing's still going. New loan apps still coming in. I'm in loans, by the way. You're in real estate. So the question is, when you're sitting here with us today, does your business stop or is it going? If it stopped, you just lost some time, right? You have to be able to create where your business continue regardless whether you're there or not. Dreams. What is your plan to get there? Newport Coast house. How much is it?
Oh, at least,
Give me a dollar, please.
I don't know, 5.2.
4 million, 3.5,
Yeah.
later one,
Okay.
4 million up.
4 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up.
How much can you save per year? 100,000? That's 40 years. That's called planning. How do you get there? Most people dream but never put it down on paper. How am I going to get there? Right? You have to. Something simpler. Retiring when you're 55. How many more years to 55? Sorry, I have to put you on the spot.
3 months.
I can't.
Screwed.
I can't help you.
That's a lot of tickets. I was gonna rob a bank, but you know.
So, let's assume for a minute he has 10 years left. He wants to retire. What is retirement to you? 100,000 a year? 200,000 a year? What's that number? You need to write it down and how you're gonna get there. So let's say for me, if I have nothing, no obligation, I can live 100,000 a year comfortably, right? Can I do that today? I have to write it down. What's my formula? How about inflation, all that? You have to quantify that, right? That's the plan. So, most of you in real estate, 90% hopefully? All right. What is your plan for this year? We're halfway through the year. Is your plan in writing? Is it executable? So again, if I want to retire at 55 and I'm 54, it ain't happening, right? I want to be Elon Musk, ain't happening. So I have to make sure it's executable. Quantifiable. We're talking about numbers. What does quantifiable in real estate means? Who does farming? Anyone? 1, 2. How many person will call you if you drop 1,000 flyers? You have that number? You need to have that number. If I drop 1,000 flyer, I get 1 call, and if I have 10 calls to make 1 sale, guess what? I need to drop 10,000 flyers. There's 2 spots there. Plenty. What about cold call? Anyone? Cold call? What happened to the art of cold call? Come on!
I know Coco.
Yeah. So again, 100 calls, you may get 1 answer. You have to write down your results and what is that going to do to what your dream's going to be. If you want to make $5,000 this year, you have to make sure you work backward to your results. You might be the worst salesperson in the world, but if you have a plan, it will work. It will work. Last year, who didn't do well last year? See the golden 2021? I think we just knocked out the ballpark, right? Most of us. So you don't have to answer, but I go to ask you, how did you get there? So let's assume you made $300,000 last year. Congratulations, that's a great number. How did you make that number? How many sales? How the sales came to you? Who referred you? What sources are? Do you know? You have to look at history to plan for the future. And you have to keep log as far back as you started your career. You have to see your improvement or decline. If it's declined, you fix it, right? So make sure that you have the plan and make sure you track it. I track my performance weekly, not yearly, weekly. And if my weeks, usually a couple of weeks, is bad, I intensify it. Make sure that I'm on balance and on track. We have a lot more seats here. Teresa? Ironic is it plan for failure. Many people that plan for success, they never plan for failure. There are things that we can't control. What's happening today? What's happening with rates going from 3% to 5%? We didn't plan for it. No one knew. Nobody had control. War in Ukraine. Did you plan for it? No. But I wake up every day planning for my success. I worry for failure. That is out of my control. What can I do to make sure to mitigate this or minimize it? Right? I don't think we can mitigate it. We probably can minimize it. Our business since the beginning of the year has not dropped, even from 3% rate to 5% rate, because we planned for this. I've been dreaming of the day that rates go up for 4 years. And I'm glad it didn't happen for 4 years, right?
Right.
But it did. So we had a good run until now. All right, before I go into in-depth with the presentation, I want to give you a little bit update on where we are today. And not to give you doom and gloom, but to allow you the knowledge, to give you the knowledge to prepare for it, to survive it, right? Make sure that you survive to get out for the next cycle. Because if you don't survive, guess what? You won't be here. We all know rates. This one should be on your desktop every day. It's Freddie Mac daily rates or rate chart. It's free to everyone. It's gone from a little bit over under 3% to 5.25% in less than 6 months. The most rapid rise in interest rate in history that I know of, and I've been in business 31 years. Let me go back a little bit. I had a situation where a client was pre-qualified December at 3%, and the contract just got in for some reasons, took 5 months, and now it's at 5.25%. He didn't qualify. That's just one example. And I think we all know that, but again, when it happens to you, you realize that that's the case. The stock market. Someone in the stock market? Was in the stock market? Last year, NASDAQ finished about 16,500. This is today. This is today. You do the math, more than 25% drop, right? Imagine housing dropped 25%, even 15%. Let me put this in perspective. So you made $300,000 last year. Great, love it. You celebrate it, you live life to your fullest. How many can afford a 10% drop in income? How about 20%? How about 25% like the NASDAQ did? Which likely we will see that, right? You have to prepare for it. I don't think I need to tell you much more than this. California, we're paying $7 a gallon. I think this is probably off a little bit more than 30%. But guess what? We're in real estate. We drive a lot, right? We're paying the highest. A lot of factory workers, people in office, they don't suffer this. We do. So therefore, your income drop automatically, whether you drop in income or not, because your expenses go up. That's a fact of life, right? So when the business slows down, it tends to be that the competition is going to heat up. It used to be the 80-20 rule. 20% sells 80% of the business. Now I think it's 90-10. If you're not in the 10% bracket, good luck in competing. Is that real? I see. Yeah.
100%.
So that means that means you have to up your game. All right, so let's start with how are you going to up your game? Who believes in having a mentor? Great, I'm glad. So when I go on Facebook groups, masterminds, so forth, everyone say, hey, which brokerage do you choose, or what should I choose? And it's funny, the brokerage will not help you sell more than what your previous brokerage does, right? Keller Williams, EXP, First Team, doesn't matter. It's your mentor. You gotta find and select your mentor first. Then you select the brokerage. Or if the mentor with the brokerage, obviously you default with that, right? Because people don't buy homes because of the brand. They buy home because of you or your mentor. Lily Campbell. Who knows Lily Campbell?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know Lily Campbell, or you know First King Real Estate?
No.
Lily Campbell.
Yeah.
Thank you. So she can be your mentor, right? Because if you go into First Team Real Estate and sign up with just anyone, I'm sorry.
Is it? Yeah.
So that's the importance of a mentor. I have mentors, plural. He's one of my mentors. I have plural, many facets. Gino is my mentor. So I have about 5 mentors that I call for ideas, for help. So how do you get to stay in the 10%? Let's start with work habits. You're in sales. What is your first goal, or what's your first job in sales? Prospect. You know, realtor have location. Well, we have to prospect. That's our number one goal. How many percent, or how much should you prospect per day? Come on, right in. We have We have 2 seats here as well.
Can I ask a quick question? Is anybody vegetarian in here? 1, anybody else? 2, anybody else? Anybody not a meat eater? Or is it vegetarian, right? Okay, so 2 vegetarian.
And for those who came,
No seafood, no poultry, no meat.
Yeah, so it's vegetarian, yes. Okay, thank you, sorry, I need to
oh, that's
prepare
okay.
lunch.
But
I'm
for
so
those
sorry.
who came a little bit later, there's water, tea outside. Please grab some. I spend 80% of my time prospecting. That's what I do. Never stop. Hasn't stopped for 31 years. What I'm doing here today. What am I doing today? Tell me. I'm prospecting to you. Time blocking. My schedule is rigid on a daily basis. 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, my personal time. Even Tom calls, I wouldn't answer his call. Well, sometimes. My personal time. Even wouldn't call, well, maybe. But you know what I mean, right? So be very serious about your time blocking, including your personal time. Okay? Do not cross. I have people that sit at dinner table, still pick up calls. I don't do that. Yeah, I don't do that. Not even lunch. During lunch, from noon to 1, I jog. That's my jogging time. So if someone say, hey, let's do lunch, it's after 1. And it's on calendar. So very important you map it out, including coffee time with friends, including happy hour on your calendar. Cannot get away from your calendar. If you need to change, it's okay. We made it, we can change it. But without it, you won't follow it. Your clients call today, hey, I saw a home I want to see. Oh, great, can I see it in 15 minutes? Yeah. Well, I would love to, but I'm a little bit tied up today. How about tomorrow afternoon or the next day? Give me two time slot, always. If I'm hungry and this is the last sales that I'm going to make, I will not go. Don't let them know you're hungry. Okay? Always give 2 options on appointments. Because one, they're going to say no. So how about tomorrow at 11? Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Or Friday at 3? Or give me a time on the weekend that you're free. 3 options. Always. Be in control. Control your time, not them controlling your time. Work efficient. Maybe we have plenty of seats. Please, come in. Come on in.
There's 2 more up here. Come on up.
No, we have 2 more. Stephen. We have two right here, please. Work efficiently. Very important. Okay? Set expectations with your clients. So this is a funny story. In the 90s, lived here in Southern California in the 90s. Okay. So McDonald Douglas shut their doors, and this place was just desolate. Real estate agents, loan officer went and mow grass. So I had to move to Phoenix because Phoenix was thriving, right? But I still kept my relationship here. So I come back every week. So I train my clients to understand that I'm okay, I'm still here. There's no emails and so forth, at least very little emails or phone or text, whatever. It was person, right? That's back in the 90s. So I trained them for that. So now come to the current time. I train my clients to understand that I'm not always here. I'm everywhere. I'm in Dallas tomorrow, I'm in San Jose tomorrow, but I can still work efficiently for you. They understand that, but that's part of training. Your clients have to expect that. They have to know what you're doing. Because people say, hey, where are you at today, Joe? Well, I'm not in Orange County. Well, I can still do loans in Orange County, you know? Yeah. Right? But people don't know that until you tell them. We're talking about calendar and schedule. Email templates. Who uses email templates? 1, 2, okay. There are at least 20 emails that you send regularly to your clients. Hey, this is a beautiful home. Please check it out, let me know how it goes. And you just insert the URL, right? If you send that on a daily basis, put it into your template. Your Outlook can handle 100 templates in your email signatures. You know that? Everyone who uses Outlook? Okay. Make sure you purchase Outlook if you don't have it. Gmail doesn't give you all that capabilities, or at least very limited. So purchase Outlook for $9.95 a month. And that allows you to do all that. So set up your email templates that allow you to send email in 2 seconds instead of typing it. Okay, and make mistakes by typing it too. VA. Tom, actually, help me with the VA.
Yeah. With the VA. Yeah. In simple terms, guys, so how much is the time worth? Right? I think if you guys all did your math, you're probably worth hopefully $50 an hour. Some might be $300 an hour based on what your annual income is. What's that? Right, I think I would guess, I would venture to say most of you make at least $50 per hour. Some of you might make $300 an hour. Some of you might make more. So a great VA, I have 3 of them. I have 3 full-time VAs. The least expensive one is $7 an hour. The most expensive one is $15 an hour, all in the Philippines. They work 3 shifts. My business runs 24 hours. 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. All of them are trained exactly the same. The $15 an hour has been around for 4.5 years. The newest one, $7 an hour, is the newest one on the team. Got it? If your time is worth $50 an hour, why not pay someone $15 an hour and to do the tasks that they can probably do better than you, have more patience than you, more timely than you, and you just doing an extra $35 per hour if you're making 50. If you're making 300, you're just doing an extra $285 an hour. The world is not fair. Everyone, you've heard this saying before, everyone's got 24 hours in a day. It's not true. I have 72 hours in a day to beat my competition because I have more leverage.
Thank you, Tom.
Does that make sense?
That was great. So Tom started me thinking of the VA. Discipline. Do you have what it takes to follow the previous rules that we talked about? We were out drinking until 11 o'clock last night. And Tom and I showed up today on time.
Early.
Yeah, we were early. We woke up at 6 regardless, right? There are times that we travel, we entertain people, we're out to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Not that we want to play, go party, but we have people like you guys, like we want to meet up and maximize our time. But we still get up at 6 o'clock to do our things. A lot of people cannot do this. Oh, I have headaches, I'm going to come a little bit late, right? How often do you hear that? My father was in the military, so I learned discipline when I was 7 years old. That never left me. So if you have friends in the military, learn what they do, and that's how you would follow that. All right, let's go to sales prospecting, right? We got to prospect, we got to bring in the sales. It's like I'm doing here. Let's start with the leads journey. How do you create awareness? They have to know who you are, what you do. Do people know what you do around your circle? Beyond your circle? Attraction. If they are aware of what you do, how do you attract them? Okay. Awareness. They have to know Tom Trump. Tom Trump's into coaching. It took him time to develop that aura. Right? Joe lands in loans. It took some time to develop that awareness. And how do you attract them? They have to know that you have the capacity, the ability to perform. Right? If you go to Tom for coaching, you better know that he's a good coach. You come to me or Lauren for loans, you better know that we can close your loans. They come to you to buy houses or homes, you better be able to get them a home, a house, right? You have to show that to them. Once they know that, they create interest to you. Right? That interest created sales. And the last one is great. Experience. I learned this from insurance agent. Who bought life insurance in this room? How many times your agent call you a year for a visit? at least twice, right? I hope. Insurance agents have semi-annual review. Many realtors sell a home that never go back to the clients for many years until clients call. Because we think that they're not going to buy another house for another 5 years or 10 years, right? That's typically what it is, which is true. They may not. But why not create a system where every year, or even semi-annual, hey, I'd like to come by and visit, see how your house is doing. Create that experience for the client. What if they need some repairs? What if they need to add an ADU? That's create additional potential business for you, right? You don't know until you visit them. What about they bought 2 years ago? Let's take Fountain Valley, for example. 2 years ago, you bought something for $1 million. This year, probably $1.3 million or more. So they have $300,000 extra sitting there that they may not know what to do with it. How about pull some out and invest into an investment property? What about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they bought the home here only $500,000. Now it's worth $2 million. A lot of people are sitting on a pile of cash, and you're not going back and calling on them, right? I call my clients every 6 months regardless. Hey, just let you know, rates haven't changed yet. You don't need to refinance. But if I don't call, they'll be calling her or vice versa, right, Lauren? We're friends in the same business, by the way. So I have to create awareness. I cannot forget them. Because we tend to rest on our success and think that they'll come back to us regardless. So in real estate, how many times have you seen that you take clients out for 10 times, 20 times, and then you find out they walk into an open house and say, oh, I like this, I love this one, I'll just buy it from this agent. And you're left out cold. Because we didn't stay on top of them, experience. We have to. I've heard stories like, my cousin bought a home, didn't call me. Same thing. They didn't know. All right, prospecting. This one's gonna hopefully hit home to a lot of people. There are two ways, traditional, as you know, mailers, door knockings, telephone calls, we all done that, farming, new social media, all kinds of stuff on here which we talk about. You kind of have to move from here to here. You know, because I can reach 5 to 10,000 people with one post. It'll take me how long time to drop 5,000 flyers, right? So time efficient is the key. Now, it doesn't mean you stop doing some of that. I still do emails, I still do telephone calls. So you gotta keep doing what has worked before, but you migrate to something that works more efficient for you. So today we're going to talk about this a little bit more because you have to be on this side in order to be successful today. So I'm going to ask you the question. There's about maybe close to 1.8 million licensed real estate agents now. Look around the room. Ask yourself, what sets you apart from all the agents in this room? You have to have that answer. Because your client is asking that same thing. Right? So, let me give you an example. I can't tell you about your business because I haven't learned your business yet. But I name myself as the loan doctor. When your banks fail, call me. Is that easy to remember? Okay. You figured out how you make sure people remember what you do. There's 10,000 retirees every day in the U.S. today for the next 30 years. Can you figure out how to track that market? Of course you can, right? Somehow you have to attract that market. Make sure they understand you. I'm looking at you and Tom because you guys are most seasoned. How do you track? We're going to be retiring soon. How do you track me? Right? So you have to make sure you brand yourself as such. Okay? So back the question, who are you? Not your person, who are you as a realtor? Think about that. Take a screenshot of that and think about that tonight. Who are you? How does your client think about yourself? Okay. My good friend's gonna talk about this one, so I'm gonna not talk too much about secret agents. I think we heard about this, right? Who has business cards on you, by the way? All right. I would like for you to get all business cards, which we do have prizes. And Teresa, please help collect business cards for prizes later,
Oh, okay.
please. We have 2 nights in Tulum. Okay. I want to win that, but I can't. We have a bottle of Japanese whiskey.
Did I get drunk tonight or what?
White
I
tonight.
mean, right now.
This afternoon, white tonight.
Anybody else? Anybody else business cards?
Just get cards. If you don't have one more, we send them right now.
Hey, you cannot be in it.
You want the one? I want the one.
You're not gonna win. But I
Yes, yes. You get 2 more, or you bring me my
Just put your name on the back and your email.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to use one of my good friends here, which I wasn't into this, but she's really good with one industry, right? So she works in the people who own nail salons and whatnot, right? So who does manicures? Who does manicures? Sorry. Who does your nails? I mean, do you go to store to do nails? Anyone? Raise your hand. How often you give your business cards out and say, hey, I'm in real estate. If you have friends and relatives that want to buy, please remember me. But you have to tell them that. Please remember me, right? How often you go eat at a restaurant and talk to the owner, say, hey, beautiful location, love the restaurant. I eat here all the time. If you need to get second location, remember me, right? Retail space. Are you shy from doing that? Yeah. You shouldn't be. Be proud of what you do. Right? We provide a very good value for our services. As important as doctors and attorneys. So don't take that as granted. Be proud of what you do. Wear it on your head. Wear it on your forehead. As a realtor, be proud. All right, so talk about trying to create who you are. You got to talk about branding. Company spends millions of dollars to brand themselves. Colors, fonts, you name it. Who has a logo for yourself? Please raise your hand. Okay, 2, 3. Okay. You need to do one. I need to remember who you are as a realtor, right? You have to brand yourself. So you have to make sure this is done. You have to have a brand because only brand will last. Only brand will attract people. Okay. It took us a long time to brand this. Now it lasts. This, right? It didn't come overnight. But now I can afford to throw my phone in the ocean with Tom. Seriously, for a week, no problem. If you need help with this, we have a full team to help you, by the way. Okay, Brandon. Okay, so I'm not going to talk too much because we run out of time. Brandon tips. Brokerage owner do not like when I say this. Loyal to yourself. People are buying homes from Lily Campbell, not First People. Right? Number 1 rule. Make sure you remember that. Product or specialty, what sets you apart? Realtor doesn't tell me anything because I have 1.7 million realtors. I have 40 agents, 40 realtors in this room. How do I remember you? I remember on Thomas Luxury. I mean, I do, Thomas Tran, luxury agent right there. So I remember because he branded himself as luxury agent, right? Consistent message across all platforms. Very important. Very important. You can't have one profile picture differently everywhere. Names differently. I have people, Mary Jane, and then Mary, and so forth, and then everywhere it's different. Email's different. They married and never changed their name. Well, Judy Tran, how come this email said Judy Wynn? It's like, what the hell? Seriously, change it, consistent. I have to remember. You have to make sure people memorize who you are. That's hard. So be consistent with that. Simple to remember. My first non-company email is J Lam. My first initial, last name, 9000 at Yahoo and Gmail too. I create both. There's no fail. J Lam 9000 at Yahoo or Gmail. Simple. That was 20 years or 30 years ago. So who wants to have more freedom? You can travel, you can sit here, and your business still going. You gotta create teams, which actually my good friends don't talk about that, so I'm not gonna talk too much about this. Skip the team. Online presence. Who thinks owning real estate is good? I hope all of us. Who thinks owning real estate is good? Come on, everyone, we're in real estate here. So not only I sell loans or real estate, but I own real estate, right? We all know that. But I also own a lot of digital real estate. Most of us fail to do this because we don't think it matters. It does. When my good friend, from San Antonio, I bought a domain for her for $9.95 last year. And we haven't even launched the website yet because we talked about launching it, the idea so forth. Today its value is $485. 1 year. How many percent did that increase? A lot. If the website launches so far, the value increases, right? So 10 years later, that can be worth a lot more. We have about 100 websites that we own. Values anywhere from $1,000 to $300,000. How digital real estate works, you have to get onto it. Particularly, you get onto it so you can brand yourself. I'd rather do joelam.com than joelam@firstteam.com. Right? Would you? Would you rather do that for yourself? So you make sure you have your website or your company website that you own and your email. Because that email cannot be deleted. It's you. You own it. If you use firstteam.com and you leave, we do leave. We do change brokerage all the time. You just lost all that. Who owns your own email address? I know Tom does. Spencer, thank you. So few. Congratulations. Right? No one can take that away from you. So think about that. In fact, you should think about that tonight and get started right away. That's values that you leave on the table. You're trying to tell people to buy a property, and you're not even doing it yourself. Right? Very important to do that. You still have to be offline. In other words, people see you online, but they have to see you before. You have to make sure you get out, meeting people that matters. So my good friend might be doing doctors, a lot of doctors' business, right? You go to medical association functions. If you do nails or salons, you go to their association. Try not to go to realtor association because they don't buy from, we don't buy from each other once in a while maybe. So you need to spend your time to other industries that might be buying from you. So again, I'll use this kind of maybe funny and so forth, but in this room, there are 2 loan officers, and the rest are real estate agents. Because I want to spend time with you, because you're my value. So you got to find where your value is going to be, right? You want to work with retirees. Go to a lot of the function that they, again, can you help with some of the function retirees do? Keno, so they play, what is it? Bingo, right? Bingo hall. I'm being serious about that. The more time you spend there, the better you can be. You know what? I don't encourage gambling. A lot of them go to casinos, right? Right? A lot of retirees go to casinos. So you got to figure out where they are. The bottom line is, right? So I'm going to finish up with a quote that I've learned a long time ago, 31 years. Follow a gold truck, you may pick up nuggets. Follow a manure truck, you may step on shit. Harvey Newman. So be sure you hang around the right people, hang around the right group of people that can bring you up. You don't want the one that bring you down, or the one that don't bring you anywhere at all. Thank you so much, everyone. I think so today we have for you 4 more speakers. We have 2 that will talk about social media and their success with social media. We have 1 international. And so who would like to go first? I think Garrett, would you care to go first?
Sure.
We have my good friend Garrett from Northern California. He's kind enough to come down and join